The Life and Legacy of Buju Banton, a reggae icon's journey. It was on a sweltering July morning in 1973, in the heart of Kingston, Jamaica, that Mark Anthony Myrie first opened his eyes to the world. Raised in the gritty district of Salt Lane in Denham Town, Mark was the youngest of 15 children in a modest home filled with struggle and survival. The neighborhood echoed with the sounds of reggae, dancehall, and the cries of those trying to make something of themselves in post-colonial Jamaica. From the very beginning, young Mark felt an unshakable connection to rhythm, melody, and the stories music could tell. They called him Buju, a nickname his mother gave him, meaning chubby child, and Banton, a title adopted in homage to Buju Banton, a DJ he admired deeply. Even as a teenager, he carried the soul of a warrior poet. By the time he was 12, Buju Banton was already trying his hand at toasting over rhythms, performing at local sound systems and street dances. Those nights, under makeshift streetlights and shaky speaker boxes, were where Buju's legend began to form. In the mid-1980s, a young Buju found his way into the recording studio for the first time, cutting his teeth on singles that never quite broke through. But 1992 would change everything. That year, Buju exploded onto the Jamaican music scene like a bolt of lightning. His gritty, energetic voice blasted from radios and dance halls with hits like Love Me Browning and Bogle. He wasn't just singing, he was declaring his presence. Buju's magnetic stage energy and raw, streetwise lyrics resonated with the youth. In that year alone, he broke Bob Marley's record for the most #1 singles in Jamaica, a staggering feat for a young man barely out of his teens. But even as his popularity surged, controversy followed. Tracks like Boom Bye Bye, recorded when he was only 15, drew international criticism for their homophobic lyrics. Though Buju would later distance himself from the song and shift his lyrical focus, the shadow of those early missteps lingered over his career. What followed next was an evolution few anticipated. In 1995, Buju Banton released Till Shiloh, a masterwork that marked a profound spiritual and artistic shift. Embracing the Rastafari faith, Buju traded his bombastic dancehall swagger for introspective, conscious lyricism. Songs like Untold Stories and Wanna Be Loved revealed a man in transformation, one who had seen the world's darkness but was searching for light. The album remains a cornerstone of modern reggae, elevating Buju to global recognition. From there, Buju's career was a balance of depth and diversity. Albums like Inner Heights, Friends for Life, and Too Bad showcased his ability to merge roots reggae with hardcore dancehall and even hip-hop. His collaborations with the Marley Family, Beres Hammond, and international artists like Wyclef Jean and John Legend cemented his status as a bridge between cultures and genres. He wasn't just a Jamaican star anymore, he was a global icon. But fame, as it often does, comes with shadows. In 2009, just days after earning his first Grammy nomination, Buju Banton was arrested in Florida on federal drug charges. The news sent shockwaves through the reggae world. Many couldn't reconcile the spiritually grounded artist with the accusations leveled against him. Despite proclaiming his innocence, Buju was convicted in 2011 and sentenced to 10 years in a U.S. federal prison. Those years behind bars were a test of his spirit. From his prison cell, Buju continued to inspire through letters and reflections that his team would share with fans. His faith in Rastafari, his love for music, and the hope of redemption kept him going. On December 7, 2018, Buju was released, and Jamaica welcomed him home like a returning king. The Long Walk to Freedom tour that followed saw sold-out stadiums across the Caribbean and beyond. Buju was back, older, wiser, and more determined than ever to spread messages of unity and resistance. In 2020, he dropped Upside Down 2020, an album that grappled with modern turmoil, inequality, injustice, and spiritual struggle. It was a reminder that Buju, even after all he had faced, had never lost his voice or his conviction. Buju Banton is the proud father of 17 children. Throughout his life, Buju has spoken about the importance of family, and while he is a very private individual, he has publicly expressed love and support for his children on numerous occasions. His children come from different relationships, and many of them are carving out their own paths in music, politics, and activism. Jahazeil Myrie. One of Buju's most well-known children is Jahazeil Myrie, also known as Jahazeil. He is a recording artist who has been steadily making a name for himself in the reggae and dancehall scene. Jahazeil has often mentioned that although having a famous father is a blessing, he wants to establish his own identity and career without relying solely on Buju's legacy. He has released several songs, including tracks that discuss social consciousness and inner struggles, similar themes to his father's music. Jodian Myrie, daughter. Another prominent child of Buju Banton is Jodian Myrie, who entered Jamaican politics. She ran as a Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, candidate for the St. Andrew East Central constituency in the 2020 general elections. Though she didn't win the seat, Jodian's political journey and advocacy for social justice have earned her respect in Jamaican civic circles. She has expressed admiration for her father's resilience and spirituality. Tragic death of son, Myles Myrie. In October 2020, Buju Banton and his family were struck by tragedy with the sudden death of his teenage son, Myles Myrie, who reportedly died under tragic circumstances in the United States. Details surrounding Myles' death were kept private, out of respect for the family's mourning. Buju Banton, who is known for being deeply spiritual and protective of his loved ones, never issued a detailed public statement. However, sources close to the family confirmed the passing, and fans around the world expressed their condolences on social media. The loss of a child is devastating for any parent, and while Buju did not address it publicly, many believe that the pain and grief subtly influenced some of his more reflective songs released after that period. Buju Banton's wife. As of 2025, Buju Banton is not known to be legally married. He has had multiple relationships over the years, which resulted in the birth of his 17 children, but he has never publicly introduced a wife or confirmed a marriage. Buju has always kept his romantic life private, preferring not to share personal relationships in the public eye. In interviews, he often focuses on spiritual growth, music, and family rather than discussing romantic partnerships. Despite the public's curiosity, Buju has maintained this boundary throughout his career. It's worth noting that his dedication to Rastafarian values and his strong emphasis on personal evolution and discipline may contribute to his low-profile love life. Buju Banton's net worth. As of 2025, Buju Banton's net worth is estimated between $2 million and $4 million US. His financial journey has had its ups and downs, especially due to his incarceration between 2011 and 2018. However, his post-release comeback revitalized his brand and music career. Key sources of income: music sales and streaming. Buju Banton has released several successful albums, including Till Shiloh, Inner Heights, Before the Dawn, which won a Grammy in 2011, and Upside Down 2020. His classic tracks continue to generate royalties via digital streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. Tours and live performances. After his release from U.S. federal prison in December 2018, Buju launched the Long Walk to Freedom Tour in 2019. The tour was a resounding success, especially in Jamaica, where the Kingston concert at the National Stadium drew a crowd of over 30,000 fans. The international leg also saw packed venues in the Caribbean, Europe, and Africa. Collaborations and features. Buju has collaborated with both Jamaican and international artists, including DJ Khaled, John Legend, Stephen Marley, and Pharrell Williams. His guest appearances and collaborations bring in both financial compensation and cross-genre exposure. Merchandising and business ventures. Buju has developed official merchandise and invested in projects related to music production, agriculture, and philanthropy. He also launched the Buju Banton Foundation, which supports at-risk youth in Jamaica. Real estate and investments. Though less publicized, Buju is believed to have invested in property in Jamaica and maintains a comfortable lifestyle that balances privacy and philanthropy.